He drives growth and profit. He drives growth and profit at the organization. He's one of the LinkedIn's top voices. We are happy to. He's going to speak on something as contemporary and as burning as this particular one. How AI is changing the hospitality industry. We are extremely happy to bring in some distinguished guests. One, Mr. Raghu Kemal has joined. Raghu, if you can kindly wave your hands. I think Raghu.
I'm here. Hi, Ram.
So,
hi,
Raghu has joined. Raghu has been saying that he wants to listen to you as we all are eagerly waiting. And also our managing director, Mr. Abhinandan De, who is spearheading a lot of our new efforts and initiatives. He is there. And Raghu is with us for quite some time, Mr. Ramachandran. And in fact, he is one of our very important speakers. In earlier days also he did. Again, he's going to talk. I think our chairman is also there. I just saw him. If sir is there, if you can kindly switch on your video, sir. Sir had just come in. I don't know, means maybe here. Sir, if you can kindly, he's our chief mentor, Mr. Vijit De. Sir, sir, if you can just wave your hands. Yeah. Okay, so this particular session will be rather conducted by our MD. But before that, Raghu, are you aware that Mr. Ramachandran is also an author now? So I'm just going to show you, this is his book. And all the viewers who are there with us, this is his book, The Rising. Mr. Ramachandran, if you can kindly show it. If you can show from your end as well, just show it. And just to give you a brief, I have already read this book.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and it is the whole idea is so intriguing. You know, he has imported the past into the present and woven it in the modern context, although not leaving any bit of what had been there in the past in our scriptures, and keeping the sanctity alive, which is very, very interesting and important. So that's how it is. So I will not take much time. It's already 5 minutes that I am speaking. I'll leave it to our Managing Director, Mr. Abhinandan De. Sir, if you can kindly take it forward from here, please.
Mr. Bhattacharya, thank you so much for the introduction, and it's our extreme pleasure to have Mr. Ramachandran here with us today for this special occasion to share your inputs with our students. I think this is going to be a very enlightening morning for all of us here today. For the last, couple of years or so, we've been hearing about this, these two letters, AI, in a big way. So, however, I believe that a lot of us are still grappling with the idea about what exactly is AI. Some of us probably don't know the definition of AI also very well. So, in the audience here, we have our students who are from the hospitality background as well as from the business management background, and we also have our faculty members, a few industry people as well with us. So we are all extremely eager to learn a lot today. So even from all of our end, we are extremely happy to have you, and your breadth of experience. You yourself, I think our students can relate that you yourself are from a hospitality background as well as a business background, as far as your education is concerned. So I think students, please take note that Mr. Ramachandran has reached his heights from where probably you are at today. So please listen to him eagerly, and I think you can ask him a lot of questions about what steps he has taken to reach where he has, apart from questions regarding the topic as well. So with that, I will start, because I think our students are all eager, and we have an audience of about 70 odd people already. So Mr. Ramachandran, just a brief about yourself and about your journey, and then we can get into the topic.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much for the welcome, and it's a pleasure to be part of this morning along with you and your entire team out there. So thanks a lot for extending the invite out there, and of course, thank you so much, Sudeep, for doing the book promotion for me. It's quickly about myself. I mean, yep, it sounds old, but yeah, close to 25 odd years experience in the industry. I think I was one of those. I think just to add on to what you just said, I think the biggest mantra, to whatever position I am in today has been the fact that I haven't been just stuck to one particular role, but I was always willing to learn at all the stages. So when revenue management came up in the first 4 years of my career, and nobody knew what that field was, I decided to uh, get into that because it seemed to be something that was the future. So it's very important to be aware of what the future holds, so that when an opportunity comes in, you kind of grab it. I did the same thing when there was an opportunity to take over e-marketing. So there was a period where I had moved over from revenue management into e-marketing and distribution. I was heading it for both the Oberoi and the Trident hotel brands. In 2013, that was the first time hotels were kind of starting in what is e-marketing, how do we do distribution, digital marketing, social media, etc. And then, of course, currently with AI, etc., that's kind of been my latest attempt into learning. It's like you rightly said, we've been hearing a lot about what is happening out there, and we don't know where and how it is going to impact our lives typically, but you know what, it is going to seamlessly integrate into our lives, that it's going to be similar to the kind of impact maybe what internet brought into our lives. I mean, most of you guys on this panel, students, you have grown across with internet, right? You started your life with internet and the digital world. I mean, somebody who was a student when the entire internet media was coming in, I can tell you how fascinating it was to watch, to wait for 10 minutes for an internet page to open up, and type an email and see the success of it, to right now, actually just streaming movies when we are just sitting waiting for a cab to come in. Life has taken a huge 360-degree change, and AI is going to make the similar kind of changes in our life as well. Slowly but steadily, it will start populating into our lives, that it will seamlessly integrate, that we'll think that, hey, how do we even exist without AI in 5 years' time? It's going to seamlessly integrate out there. So once again, thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen, and if one of you can just confirm to me that you are able to see my screen, and then I will start that off.
Yeah, we're still waiting. Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Fabulous. Great. So today's topic is going to be about the future of technology in hotels, travel, and how we are trying to stay ahead of the curve out there. And AI is, of course, the flavor of the day. But before we start off, I just want you guys to just take 30 seconds or a minute. Just think to yourself just about 3 particular questions that I'm putting on screen. Okay. One is, last 5 years, let's start with pre-COVID or just before COVID, 2018 to 2024. What has changed in the way that you communicate? Has things changed out there? How much has it changed? What has changed in the last 5 years in the way that you shop? I know Amazon used to exist 5 years before as well. Amazon exists today as well. Flipkart exists. Uber exists. Maybe different platforms in different parts of the country, but there is things that has changed out there in how we shop, how we consume entertainment today. And lastly, what do you think is your biggest challenge? I mean, some of you might have gone into the industry, had some experience in terms of training or industrial exposure training, but what do you think is the biggest challenge that you faced out there? I'll just give 30 seconds for all of you. Just think about these 3 questions, because that itself will kind of bring you some kind of understanding as to, hey, what has changed out there.
So do we want students to share at this stage, or do you want that?
Anybody at this point of time can want to just type in the chat, or just talk about it. If they think what is some changes they have thought about, it'll be great to hear. Anybody? It's an open mic out there. There is no right, no wrong answer in this entire discussions that we're having, because we're all learning about AI still. Even I'm learning about AI, and I'm not a expert out there in that field. So anyone, anything. So I can tell you, for example, one thing in the way I communicate. Today, when I write on most of these platforms, let's say LinkedIn, if somebody sends me a message and I want to reply out there, or even when I'm replying back on LinkedIn to a comment, there's an automatic recommendation that comes in. That kind of changes entirely. This didn't exist 5 years back. All I need to say, if somebody says, "Oh, this is a great post," or "Well done on your achievement," the post automatic, the reply, there is an option of 4-5 replies out there, right? Or another example, if you guys are typing on Gmail, you will see that as you start typing, the entire sentence is getting formed on its own. It's basically recommending, hey, this is what you need to write next. The same is the case if you're typing on your iPhone or typing a message. The phone is automatically recommending what the next sentence should be there. These didn't exist 5 years back. Okay, this is subtly but steadily now taken by granted for us, but this didn't exist. That's the simplest example I can tell you in the way that you communicate. Anything else you guys think about? Just think. If you guys are not comfortable right now to talk in a public audience, that's perfectly fine. But I'm just telling you, these are things that now we started to take for granted. What is very interesting is you guys are very lucky because you are sitting in what I would literally call the most exponential era of innovation. If you split the past history in terms of innovation, if you look at the past 300 odd years, the first wave is when people started using the steam engines, right? It's basically they understood the power of waters, the Iron Age, where they started melting stuff, etc. Then is when we had the rail and the steel out there. But what's very interesting is we see out here, every innovation has become faster, right? The first wave was a long, slow growth. Second wave was a slightly faster one. The third wave, it's much more faster. The fourth wave. But what's the interesting part is, look at this. The wave that we are sitting in right now, which is the era of AI, artificial intelligence, IoT, which is called the Internet of Things, which is basically things like smart speakers. If you guys have heard of Google Home, Alexa, etc., or your smart watches, everything where basically devices are now communicating with each other, right? All of these have evolved over the last 3 to 5 years, and it is moving at a much faster pace than most of us are able to understand. By the time we understand a new technology, that has already become redundant. The next technology is coming. 3 years back, they were talking about blockchain. By the time people understood what blockchain is, people have already moved away from blockchain into AI. By the time we understand AI, the next wave of AI is going to come in, which I'll just show you out there. So, you guys are very lucky. It's a fabulous time to be a young person out there and grow your knowledge. Again, for you to just help to understand, and this is in continuation to where I started off this conversation. Look at the way internet has taken over our lives. When I passed out of college, which was, giving my age out there, but 97 when I passed out of college, that is where the total number of internet users globally were sitting in. Look at where we are sitting in today. Look at the exponential growth that has happened over the last 1 decade. It is insane. It is unimaginable, the kind of growth that we are seeing out here. And it is continuing to grow every passing year. It's also growing because a lot of us are not just having one device, we are having multiple devices. A typical business traveler today in a hotel, let's say if I travel to a hotel, I typically have 4 devices with me. I have my laptop, I have my phone, I have my iPad, and because I read a lot, I now carry my Kindle with me, because carrying big books are difficult, right? It adds up to the weight of travel. So I kind of have my Kindle with me because I usually alternate between 2 or 3 books at one point of time. So it's 4 devices that I need, which is connected to the internet out there, right? So this is a typical business traveler of today out there. And this is what is happening globally. Most of you, even as students, I'm sure most of you are at least having 2 devices, a phone and a laptop, or a phone and a tablet out there, right? So that is common today in every middle class / upper middle class household out there. Another interesting thing, and these are data points as close as April 2024, which is the closest data points that you can get globally. Why do people use the internet? we might think that most of us use internet for consumption, watching movies, video, which you're right. Communication with family and friends is sitting there, and watching movies, Netflix, YouTube, etc., is sitting out there. But as far as our industry goes, two critical areas are sitting out here, which is very important for us. One is finding information. That includes finding things about hotel, about travels, etc. And right here, close to 37% of the people are researching places, vacation, and travel. So travel is a key reason as to why people use the internet as well. Close to 40% of the travelers are using the internet out there to just understand hotels, etc. out there. Just give you a brief background to the internet, and now we'll move into why is technology important and how does things travel. So beyond AI, there are multiple things which have changed the way business is being done. The first thing is digital payments. I mean, we are literally moving to a cashless economy. 6 years back, Sudeep or Raghu or Mr. Abhinandan, all of you have been there in that era where you couldn't walk to a local panwala and pay with your credit card, right? Today, you want to go and get a chocolate for $10. You don't take money at all. You basically are QR coding, money is being transferred from a phone to another phone. You don't even need to have the same system. Digital payments, credit card payments, online payments are now dominating the industry. We are moving so fast towards being a cashless economy that it's scary. I mean, the kind of technology that we have, especially the UPI, kind of beats even international technologies out there. Because in international, when I travel to US at least once or twice a year, and out there is QR code kind of this thing, but it is basically, let's say, Paytm to Paytm kind of transfer that happens. Out here, you could be on Paytm, but you could transfer to any QR code out there, right? As long as the receiver is sitting out there on the same platform, right? It is amazing as to how digital payments is growing into the country. Contactless check-in is becoming really big right now across many industry. Basically, we call it pre-check-in in luxury business, but net, the guests need not stand in queue at the reception. A lot of international hotel chains, especially the ones targeting the young travelers, have started opening self-check-in kiosks. People just come in, your information is already there, you just press in. There is a QR code. That QR code you scan and your phone becomes your new key. You go to your door, you scan the door and the door opens. Boom. That is it. Cloud computing. What I'm saying out here is a lot of technology, including hotel PMSs, no longer work off a property server. It is all sitting out there in the cloud. You can actually start accessing things on the move. These are things that we take for granted today, but these are things which were like, oh my God, things of science fiction 10 years back. Voice and IoT. Today, when we are on the move, we can actually talk to the phone and say, okay, Google, hey Siri, just tell me something about this. When I'm driving, I want to talk to somebody, I can say, hey Siri, call Raghu Kamal, and it will call and it will call Raghu out there, right? Sorry, I just said, hey Siri, and my iPhone immediately Siri opened up. Sorry. AR, VR, XR, which is augmented reality, virtual reality, and extended reality. Basically, virtual reality is becoming a thing when it comes to travel. People are starting to use those headsets, which gives you a feel as to what it is going to be in that place. It is slowly but steadily becoming a key part of your marketing process for many hotels. And lastly, the topic that we are talking about, artificial intelligence. Okay, out there. I'll just take a quick break to just understand if I'm going fast, if I need to slow down, or if you have any questions until what I have spoken until now. Because I can't see the chat since I'm sharing the whole screen, but I'm just taking a quick break to see if any of you have any questions out there, please.
Yeah, students, if you have any questions or if you have any doubts, or you feel if it's going a bit fast for you to understand, you can comment on the chat box, and we will definitely convey that message to you.
Thank you so much.
So far, so good, it seems. So far, so good.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for that. So, Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO, the founder of the biggest shopping platform on planet Earth, he's just said that we're just on the surface of what is happening today. Like there is this statement in terms of technology which I love. What you see today is the worst possibility of what technology can achieve, because tomorrow it can actually do better than what it can do today. So basically we are just at the lowest stage of technology, and every day things are moving at a much faster pace than what we thought is possible out there. So first thing to understand, there are AI, again, just to go to basics of AI, people just think everything is AI, but in terms of technology, there are three key different things. One is called automation, one is called machine learning, and one is called artificial intelligence. And all these three things are totally different from each other. Okay, they have so to give you a summary as to what is all three of them. Automation is the most simplistic of all tasks. It is nothing but a set of pre-programmed rules. It will perform those tasks repeatedly over and over and over again. It just follows a fixed rule, fixed instructions, and it is used to just simplify the workflow of them, to save time and resource. That is all automation is all about. It does nothing more than that. Set me an alarm every day at 7 o'clock in the morning. Boom, my iPhone rings every morning at 7 o'clock. That's about it. Switch off my data every night at 11 p.m. If I set the program on my phone, then every night, I usually switch off my data, Bluetooth, everything at 11 p.m. and it automatically switches off at 7 a.m. because otherwise at late night, I'm going to be browsing and not sleeping, right? So boom, that automatically sets out there. So in simplistic term, that is automation. It has nothing to do with artificial intelligence. It has nothing to do with machine learning. Artificial intelligence is taking this to a much higher level. This is where the system or the computer or a set of programs which are designed to copy how a human interacts. It is trying to bring in critical parts such as reasoning, learning. It is to help decision making. It learns and changes the way it reacts out there. Okay, it continues to evolve, it continues to learn, and it continues to adapt out there. Simple thing, like we said on Gmail, when you're typing, it changes what is the next sentence. It learns from how you write. So if you continue to type in a certain tone of voice or something, after a certain point of time, it will move off out. Okay. The third is machine learning. It's basically algorithms. Machine learning is a part of AI. AI is the main overall leader out there, which has automation and machine learning as two subsets. Machine learning is, let's say, Instagram. All of you are students. I'm sure everybody is sitting on Instagram. Your feed is going to be totally different from your friend's feed out there. Okay. What you're seeing on your feed is going to be totally different from your friend's feed. If you are a fan of cricket and you interact a lot with, you follow a lot of cricketers, most of your feed is going to be around cricket. On the other side, if somebody likes movies and they are following the Alia Bhatts and Ranbir Kapoors and Vicky Kaushals of the world, most of the feeds are going to be around movie, right? So this is an example of machine learning algorithm, where the mission is where those systems are just learning what you like and just throwing that to you. That's simple. Okay, there is again no artificial intelligence in that, but artificial intelligence is taking this to the next level. Okay, that is what it is trying to do out there. So these are three critical areas, all three different from each other. Okay, so just ensuring that everybody understands this out there. AI is slowly getting to be a part of our daily lives out there, and what is very interesting is to see that how fast it has taken over our lives. When Netflix started to get 1 million users, it took 3.5 years. When Twitter started, it took 2 years. When Facebook started, 1 million users in 10 months. When Spotify came in 5 months. When ChatGPT came in 2002, in 5 days it reached 1 million users. That is the kind of pace that people adapted to technology out there. And right now, it is by far the fastest moving technology we have had. And why is AI becoming so popular and there is so much of conversation about AI is almost everybody is able to use it and see the impact of it. If you guys are on WhatsApp, let me just open up my WhatsApp. I've actually kept my phone on airplane mode so that I don't get calls. But if you are on WhatsApp, right on top, you will see this right slight little blue icon that is coming. It's a circle, you know, and some of you might have it, some of you might not have it still. But if you click on that blue circle on top, you would see something called Meta AI, which is opening up. Meta AI is nothing but the equivalent of Chat GPT by Meta, which is the owning company of Facebook, right? So it's very interesting as to how slowly but steadily it is so integrating with all our lives out there. And the market is expected to grow really, really fast. Today, we are sitting somewhere out here. It's expected to quadruple by the time 2030 starts out there. Okay, so it's a big market. Everybody is looking at investing out there. As you can see, just some headlines which you start seeing on a daily basis out there. You earlier it used to be a story that, you know what, if it is too good to be true, okay, in today's time it's very simple. If an image looks too good to be true, it cannot be human generated. Okay, it has to be here. It has to be something sitting with AI out there. Okay, so that is the reality of our life, and it is so scary as to how, especially the scamsters are starting to take over deepfake. I mean, all it requires is, let's say, 2 minutes of me talking out there, and somebody can actually use AI to scan and create the exact way I talk and communicate. And it's so easy to get those kind of things. So please be very careful with the amount of information you guys put out on the public, especially sharing things like date of birth, etc. Try to keep it to as limited a community as possible, because that's the easiest way to take over your bank statements. If you look at AI, there are 3 specific levels of AI. We are actually sitting here, which is the narrow intelligence. Narrow intelligence, simplistic term, they can perform one specific task better than what a human can do, which is what Siri or Alexa is. The next set of evolution, which is what everybody is working towards, is called AGI, which is general intelligence. People who have watched movies, people who are fans of Avengers. I mean, I'm a big movie fan, and I love the Avengers. But yeah, if you have seen Avengers and if you have seen Jarvis, who is this computer character that Tony Stark, Iron Man, interacts with, that is an example of what an AGI can be out there. It can perform every task almost on par or better than what a human being can do. And that's exactly what companies like Boston Dynamics, etc. are trying to do. We're creating robots and creating technology which can perform on par or better than what humans can do. This is where the hypothetical scientific future is, where it's called singularity, where AI, computer, robotics, androids take over and are way better than what we can do. That is the ASI or the super intelligence stage out there of life. Now, getting into purely what are critical terms out there to understand. The first one is generative AI, which is what most of us are working on today. Generative AI is nothing but an artificial intelligence tool, which is learning from what you are typing and basically putting it back to you in a much better way out there. In the hotels, how can we use AI? Okay, simple example. This is a screenshot of one of our hotels. The moment I go, and you guys can all try this, okay? If you guys have computers and you have Microsoft Edge, for example, which has Bing as the tool, the moment you open up Bing, right on the top hand side corner, you see something like this. Click on it, it will open up here and you can say generate a page summary, and it will give you immediately a summary of what the page is happening. Okay, look at this. It immediately gives me a summary as to what that entire information is out there about that particular hotel. I don't need to read the whole page. Why is this important for hoteliering and marketing teams in hotels? Because they need to ensure that all the relevant information is put in an easy to read format so that the AI tool is compressing it and sending it upwards. This is not creating new stuff. It is basically putting stuff that is here. Today, in a world where we have limited attention, again, simple example, you're all on social media, you're on Instagram. Half the time, I mean, not even half the time, 90% of the time on Instagram, you don't read the post. You just see the image you like, maybe you read one line of it, right? Nobody reads the full text out there because you don't have that attention span. Most of you must be consuming news from portals like News and Shorts, right? Because you don't have the bandwidth to read the whole newspaper, like how, let's say, my previous generation used to do, or how I still try to do today. But today's generation, you just are always in the move that you don't have the time to consume those kind of information. So AI is basically simplifying it for you. Another example on Google, this is called generative search by Google. As you can see, the moment you search for it, it immediately gives you some information about the hotel before you want to read about this. Again, pretty important for hoteliers out there. AI, what it does, if I upload a document out here and I just say summarize this PDF in top 10 bullet points, it immediately summarizes all the top 10 bullet points. This is a software called Claude AI. So that's what it does. All of these are basically free, available today for you to use and try it out there. And I can continue to ask questions. And the moment I ask a question, it refers back to this document and it gives me the answers out here, right? So it's so easy to start creating things out there. What is important to understand is, guys, please don't rely on AI for anything out there. I mean, you got to always validate the information out there, because different tools give different answers. Now, it is the same question I asked on two different AI softwares out there. Asking basis generative AI, help me craft a 30 seconds elevator pitch on how it can be used in hotels. It is the same question out here, basis generative AI. The answers are totally different from each other. Okay, so use AI for research purposes, use AI to maybe rewrite what you have already written, etc. Use AI to maybe get some ideas out there if you want to, but please don't use AI for complete research projects out there. Please validate every bit of information that it comes in. Okay, it is never the most accurate information. In revenue management,
Mr. Ram, I'll just interrupt in between one.
Yes,
I think one of the important takeaways that you mentioned rightly is, as far as hotels are concerned or any business is concerned, now that the AI tools are, fetching information from, the information that is already there on your site or on your platform. So I think apart from, all these days we were talking about search engine optimization. I think now, one has to focus also on AI optimization as well.
Yeah.
How that
Yes.
can be done.
It is your content. See, so in marketing, for example, your content needs to be thought about and rewritten in a way that it becomes easier for these platforms to understand and read. The accuracy of your information is very important out here. It is, because it can get misinterpreted, because some of us still love to write the old fancy ways of writing, which unfortunately could be misconstrued in today's days out there. Okay, so you're absolutely right. And always use AI to maybe validate things, but the quality of information is going up, and we will see in the last few slides as to what are some of the challenges we still face in AI today. So in revenue management, 4 key areas, I think, where we are using AI, or AI is starting to make an impact. So what is revenue management? Revenue management is nothing but the art of literally making more money from the customer. So basically increasing rates, decreasing rates based on demand. You can see that in airlines, when you book a flight ticket today and you try to book the same flight tomorrow for the same date, the flight ticket pricing could be changed. It could be going up or it could be going down. Okay, so why is that happening? Because the systems are changing the price basis, demand and availability out there. So as you can see in the screenshot out there, the person sitting next to you need not necessarily be paying the same price of you. And the same thing happens in hotels as well. Hotel prices also fluctuate a lot out there. Okay, so AI using machine learning and using AI intelligence, there are revenue management systems which are helping hotels to set prices more accurately so that they can continue to build room nights to generate demand out there. Forecast is very important for a revenue manager out there. What is forecast? Why is forecast important? Basically, when we begin, it's like, let's say in a house, for example, when you're, or let's say if you guys have a pocket money from your parents of $10,000 every month, you know how you're going to use that $10,000 for the whole month, right? You cannot go out there and just buy something for $7,000 at the beginning of the month. You know what your expenses are coming in for the whole month, and you know how you are going to spread out the $10,000. The same way forecast is important for hotels, because at the beginning of the month, it is important to forecast that this is the total revenue we are going to achieve by the month end. This is the total occupancy we are going to achieve by the month end. This is the total guests who are going to stay with us at the month end. Because that is the way the hotel decides the manning, the inventory, the purchase, the marketing spend, everything. And if we need to beat this forecast, A, B, C, D are the strategies we need to work on. In order to go in A, B, C, D, we have to advertise in these platforms, right? So AI is helping us to go more accurate in terms of forecasting, so that we are able to spend better and spend it more correctly. Again, reduce workloads, getting automation out there is helping me reduce workload from human interfaces and getting technology to do what would require 3 people to do. But on the same end, I'm able to utilize my human resource team into a lot more useful strategic tasks. Instead of them having to do unnecessary paperwork, the team is now able to do a lot more strategic tasks which can help to bring in more revenues to us. And lastly, of course, a lot more seamlessness when it comes to improving customer service out there. So some examples as to how marketing is using AI today. Okay, they are able to create AI, email campaigns, social media ads, etc. So an example out there is, you know what I just said, create a 10-week slogan for a long stay staycation campaign targeting young couples. So the answer comes: escape together, relax better. The ultimate staycation awaits you. The same thing I'm saying, how to do it for targeting business executives. Recharge your mind, elevate your productivity, staycation like a boss. The same thing I'm saying, that now I want to target families. It says create memories that last. Your family staycation adventure starts here. So it at least gives me some idea as to how I can start. Now remember, if every hotel is using the same tool, the answer is going to be the same. And then every advertisement will have the same tagline, okay, which is going to be caught out very fast. So this is supposed to help to inspire you. It is not supposed to copy paste. It's not a Control-C, Control-V project ever. Please remember that, because if everybody globally starts using the same chat bots to start giving them ideas, then well, there's going to be no innovation left out there. Okay, one thing very important to remember in life, guys, is we exist because somebody innovated this, right? If everybody starts relying on this and we don't start thinking, then who is going to create the next big thing? It is you guys who's going to create the next big thing for us, right? For your generation. So people like you. So always use this to inspire you, but not to copy paste it out there. Again, it is becoming crazy because, as you can see, this video, for example, I just created it using AI. This is an AI generated video. It is not a real video out there. It took me around 10 minutes to create this video. That's it. You see this girl jumping on the bed and relaxing out there, right? That entire thing, recharge your mind, elevate your productivity, which is what we said out here in the statement. I took this statement and told the AI tool to create a video for me, and boom, it created it out there. So you see, it's so simple, so easy to create things out there, and there's so many platforms today for hotel marketing teams to kind of get inspired out there and then start shooting out there. And sorry, somebody has a question? Great. Again, just there are a lot of tools now today which are giving you text to images, text to video ability. So I just put up this thing, show me a photo of a guest relaxing on a floating cloud in a hotel. Okay. And show me a photo, create a video of me for me with a guest relaxing in a pool, sipping cocktail, watching kids play. So you see, there is immediately ideas that come in, which maybe I can share with my marketing team or with my photography team and say, yeah, let's create a photo like this. Let's create something like this. You know, I can tell my graphics team to say that, hey, maybe using this, can we start creating something with our hotel background, etc. out there. So it becomes so easy, and you can see there's multiple effects, etc. So all it takes is maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and boom, you have an idea sitting in front of you out there. Again, look at this, content creation. Response management. This was a TripAdvisor review. I just set the AI tool to give me an idea about how to reply to a complaint review that came in. You can see the entire reply has come in out there. I can use this as a base and start rewriting out there. Okay. personalized travel recommendation. AI tools are slowly but steadily starting to analyze information. So people who have worked in hotel, you would have seen property management systems out there which contains information of guests, etc. So AI tools are now starting to analyze those customer information, and kind of at the time of booking itself starting to send you alerts. You know what, this guest likes a room on the high floor facing the pool. Okay, so it immediately auto blocks those rooms. Okay, what it also helps is things like this will help you to generate more sales in the customer, because the customer knows you know what he likes or what she likes, which means they will be spending more money only with you and not with anybody else. And you see a lot of companies right now are moving towards the AI chatbot route. You cannot reach a human interface today. Try reaching out on, let's say yesterday, for example, I had an internet problem at home with Airtel. I was so desperately trying to talk to that via my app to this human person to understand what the hell is happening. But no, it was just an AI chatbot that I was connecting to, but it was answering all my questions, telling me that yes, your entire area has an internet downtime. It will be back by 8:30 p.m. So great. I mean, I was trying to watch the Wimbledon last night and we couldn't watch it because the net was down out there. But yeah, I mean, there's things like this which are becoming part of our life. Just some example as to how customers are using AI. Look at that. I've just captured a video on the left-hand side, but you can see out there as to how you put in a question and immediately there is an answer that comes in. Or on Google, for example, I'm just turning around and saying, I want to travel from point A to point B. What are some flight options and some timings? It gives me the option out there. Or plan a 3-day trip for me out there. It immediately tells me what are some of those things I should be doing out there. So these are all tools which is available today. I'll give you some examples of this tool in the coming slides. But in travel, what is AI being used for? It's being used for operations today. A lot of tasks are getting automated, like check-in, room assignments, etc. We just spoke about these examples earlier. Chatbots are becoming very common. A typical hotel, that if you go to the website, or a typical airline, you go to their websites, right on the bottom side, you will find a chatbot which you can interact with. Marketing is becoming more and more personalization. If you are browsing the internet and you're searching for something specific, you start seeing ads related to the same across all platforms on your phone. You start searching for shoes on Google. After some time, you go to Instagram, you start seeing shoe ads out there. Okay, so that's what is happening. Personalized marketing out there. Okay, and lastly, performance advertising, which is basically the advertising that we are talking about, where it is not generally throwing money hoping that somebody will see my advertisement. No, companies are understanding consumer search behavior and spending money exactly where they get maximum return. So if I am somebody who likes gadgets, I get a lot more gadget ads. If you are somebody who likes clothing, you get a lot more clothing ads, because the chances of you buying clothes is higher than me buying clothes. The chances of me buying gadgets could be higher than somebody else buying the latest gadgets out there. But in travel, that is what the impact of AI is expected to be in the next couple of years. It's a $28 billion industry right now as far as travel is concerned before the end of the decade. How else is AI is being used in travel? Not just in travel, but all human resources are starting to automate candidate screening, because they get a lot of CVs. It's impossible for somebody to screen it manually. So early interviews are now becoming automated out there, where you are trying to answer a set of questions on a system out there, and basis that you are screened whether you are allowed to go into the next round or not. A lot of exams today are now automated without having to go in person to write it in a particular system. The camera is actually understanding whether you are looking at any other reference document, or are you doing it the right way out there. Reputation management. What is reputation management? It is basically reviews. Hotels are using AI to understand the quality of reviews that is coming in and how to act accordingly out there. So AI tools are helping hotels to read reviews from a lot of channels. I mean, if you look at a hotel, typical hotel, reviews come on TripAdvisor. reviews come on booking.com, reviews come on Expedia, reviews come on Make My Trip, reviews come on Facebook, Instagram, Google pages on the site. There's so many areas. There's close to 175 odd channels which are very active in terms of reviews for hotels. How can a hotel do it manually? So they have to use tools which read reviews from all of these corners and say that, hey, you know what? Most of the guests are actually saying that your room service is a problem. So yeah, there is a training requirement in room service out there. So, but your restaurant is great. So please maybe ensure that your room service team is trained and not your restaurant team. Or maybe you want to shift people into room service. Maybe it is a manning issue. You can actually drill down deeper to understand these out there. Okay. In the next few years, what is it expected to be? Well, nobody can forecast the future. Nobody expected a small little virus in China to shut down the entire world. It wasn't forecasted. When the first news came in December, before the world shut down in March, nobody expected UK will go away from the European Union. There's things like this nobody can forecast, right? What the future is. Nobody expected India would lose the 2022 World Cup. A lot of us didn't expect India to even win this World Cup when it was 30 runs of 30 balls, right? So forecast is a different thing. Even so short, it's very difficult to forecast accurately. But basis trends, what can we expect? Chatbots will become more and more intelligent. AI is going to become a part of our daily life. We all will use AI for pricing and revenue management. A lot of cases, channels will automatically rebook a guest if there is any disruption that is happening out there. Okay. In the future, AI is going to become more and more a part of our day-to-day life, especially in cars, especially in our equipments, etc. out there. There is going to be personalized trip-to-trip, end-to-end trip planning by AI agents. Maybe some travel agents who are still on archaic technology will find this a big challenge, but human will always exist out there. You will have faster clearance through immigration gates out there. AI tools, face recognition tools, etc. is going to help you clear customs, immigrations a lot more faster out there. So travel is going to become really fast. A simple example of this is Digiyatra, which is amazing. It kind of cuts down the amount of time that you have to spend from entering an airport to clearing security by nearly more than 50-60% in many cases. So these are things that are going to happen out there, which is going to make travel a lot more easier, a lot more simpler, and hopefully bring down the cost, the ancillary costs attached to travel out there. Okay, real-time translation is going to become big out there. It actually is now already live, and I don't know how many of you watched the latest Samsung videos on their launch of 2 days back. As you talk, it translates for the other person. Okay, as to what you're trying to do. So tomorrow I could go to China. I don't understand Chinese. I could talk to the phone in English, and it will start showing on the other side in Chinese as to what I'm trying to talk. And the other person talks in Chinese to me, replies to me in Chinese, looking at my message, and that immediately converts into English. So it's amazing. Things like this are already here. Okay, I don't know what the future is going to bring in for us out there. But speaking about all of this, what are some concerns we need to worry about? The first and foremost is losing the human touch. As far as the industry goes, human personal is going to become the key differentiator. When everything is equal, the only differentiator becomes a human touch, and that is going to be the big difference for hotels. Hotels are going to look for more and more quality talent, and quality talent will become the premium commodity market. There's a lot of ethical implications today. You guys can actually read about it more and more about it, but the accuracy of information is a big concern out there in AI today, and that is something that's why a lot of big companies have still not employed AI still, because they're trying to get around it, because it could just make a statement which is so incorrect in today's time. There is a big need still for human governance, so which means AI or people who are comfortable with those systems will still be required in order to play it out there. Since AI is nothing but it is using your information and making it better out there, data privacy becomes key. Which is why it is very important that you do not, if you're working in a hotel or you're working in any organization, please do not put proprietary information on these kind of public platforms, because it takes those information to understand and develop more content. Okay, and these are, so proprietary information should never be used on any of these platforms. There is a big worry about, will AI lead to job losses? But this happens every time when a new technology comes into play. When computer came into play, there was a worry that, oh God, are a lot of people going to lose jobs? When internet came into play, oh God, are a lot of people going to lose jobs? When technology like AI is coming into play, oh God, are people going to lose jobs? Yes, there will be an impact, but it is also the time for people to learn. People who do not, it's always been the case, right? Charles Darwin made the statement, survival of the fittest. Yeah, I mean, adapting to today's circumstances is very important for us to continue to be relevant in the future out there. Okay, so what does the future hold? Well, I think everybody is looking at AI. So AI is becoming the big domain out there. I mean, VR is already coming into play out there. Booking assistance is already coming into play out there. Loyalty and engagement is going to be more and more personalized out there. You can see that already in credit card companies, etc. I mean, you basically choose, hey, where do you want to get your rewards for your credit card points out there. Currently, there is a lot of hype. With every hype, there will be a bubble. With every bubble, there will be a burst. The bubble will burst at some point of time. And when that burst happens, there will only be 2 or 3 key players out there in that particular segment. And that's exactly what is going to happen out there. AI is here. We got to adapt to it. If you do not adapt to it, we are going to get left behind. Okay. And just to summarize as to what we spoke until now, AI is omnipresent. By the time 2030 comes in, nobody is going to talk about it. Nobody today turns around and talks about internet because it is a matter of fact. Okay, so in the next 5-6 years, nobody's going to be talking about AI. Hey, let's tell AI to do it. Nope, it's going to be, let's Google it, right? That's about it. It's just going to be there as a part of your life out there. Travel, which is the industry we are all in, is going to be extremely hyper personalized out there. There's a lot of focus on sustainability and going green, etc. So that will continue out there. A lot of places which are very popular today are no longer going to be popular, and there will be a lot of new destinations that will open up, because there are destinations with over tourism out there. I travel a lot to the hills. I travel a lot to the hills whenever I get a time off. I try to drive up to the hills, and I can see as to how some of those destinations which I was in love with 10 years back are no longer my favorite, because over tourism, it's got developed too much out there. Okay. Search patterns are changing very fast. Systems are ensuring that you get your answers right away out there. Hotels will become like co-working spaces, and customer will, at some point of time, you will be rewarded for the data that you provide to these things. Okay. And finally, if you want to take a screenshot of this, these are some of those tools which are available in today's market. Actually, just check this site. It's called There's an AI for That. Okay, so that is the website name. There's an AI for That. What this does is it gives you the list of all the AI tools available today for any area that you're looking at. You can go there and just type travel, and it will give you all the list of travel AI tools that people are working in today. Some of them are free, so you can actually sit and play around with it. Okay. And it is continuing to move very, very, very fast. I mean, just look at this example of Midjourney, which is a imaging tool. From V1 to V5, it is the same Mr. Bean character. In V1, basically, this was the quality. In V5, this was the quality. And guess how long V1 to V5 took? Less than a year. Okay, so that is the pace that AI is moving at. So, it's a very interesting time to be in. I think we are all going to learn together. There is, as far as AI goes, I think you and me are on the same platform that we are all sitting in. Just that I have started reading about it 2 years back, but you know what, things are still moving very fast for us to understand. And yeah, so that kind of brings my presentation to a quick closer. And if you like my talk, if you like the presentation, then yeah, let me close it with selling my own book again. You know, the book is also equally fun to read. And since we spoke about AI, that was a summary of AI reviews out there about what the book was all about. You know, so what I'm trying to say here is AI forms a big part of all of this. It's sitting right there on Amazon and we don't even realize it. It says very clearly right down at the bottom, this is AI generated text from customer reviews. So this is around about 42 odd reviews, which it just gives us summary as to what it is. So it's going to be interesting days ahead, and I wish you guys all the best as students, and hopefully look forward to maybe interacting with you guys as you start coming into the industry and when I keep traveling. And yep, please, if at any point of time we meet in the future, definitely like to have a chat with all of you in person as well. Thank you so much for inviting me out here, and yep, opening this up for any questions out there that you might have.
Thank you so much for the very, very insightful, informative, PowerPoint presentation that you shared. It covered a lot of the points about what AI is doing in the hospitality and travel industry, and beyond that as well. I just want to touch on one particular area. As you clearly mentioned that with any new technology, there is always a scare of, job losses and all of that, but it also creates new jobs, as you mentioned. And for our students, I would just like you to touch upon something because, oftentimes when we talk about technology, either, people who are not so technically savvy, they probably have a fear that, is this something for me? Can I even cope up with this? If this is, improving or changing at such a rapid pace, can I keep up with this trend? So, developing AI tools is one thing and learning how to use AI is something else. So could you just touch upon that, and sort of, give some guidance to our students?
You know what? Just give me 1 second. I couldn't hear you clearly. I don't know if it was my side or whether. So I'm going to take my headphone. If you don't mind, I lost the last part of your question. So just give me 1 second. I'm just going to change my headphones if you don't mind.
Mr. Bhattacharya, could you hear me?
Just give me 1 second. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, I could.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Can you hear me now clearly?
All of a sudden, it kind of just wrapped up. So give me 1 second if you don't mind, please. I'm really sorry for this.
No issues. Hello.
Just trying to connect
Could you just try and
something. Suddenly, all of a sudden,
yeah.
blame it on technology, please. But
Raghu, you should. Raghu, if you have any questions, please feel free to even ask.
Yeah. I was trying to make myself, unmute. So, am I audible now?
You are audible, absolutely audible.
Okay. Yeah, I could hear what Professor Abhinandan was talking. I think maybe. So, Ram, are you back?
I'm just trying to see if I'm back. Give me a minute.
Okay.
I'm sitting here, but my. Can you talk again, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Can you hear us now, Ram? Yeah, I'm talking now.
Hello?
I'm talking now. You are able to hear? I think there is some problem still.
Can I just try to connect via my laptop, please? Just give me 1 second. I'm really sorry for this. Yep. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Great. I've actually just moved on into my iPad, and it's supposed to be better out here, so I can hear you better.
Okay.
Switch on my camera as well.
Great.
Yes, please.
Okay, great, Ram. So first of all, no, I think it's almost maybe 20 years we are meeting, at least online. We used to interact on LinkedIn, and really appreciate that now you accepted the invite when Sudeep reached out and said he wants somebody who can talk about AI in travel industry. Then the first name came in was yours, and
Thanks, my friend.
I see you very active in LinkedIn. So I think it's quite a fascinating journey. I think you went when I think we worked together in Limiradi in Chennai. I think that time when you joined, it was Hilton, right? I think even when I joined, also during that time, it was Hilton.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay, good. I think though we not interacted much, then somehow when I think one of your posts I saw, then I was wondering, I saw this face, and that's how I connected with you. Great to connect after a long time, and I think both of us had totally different. So I completely moved out of hotel industry post my experience with Hilton, and then it's good. And again, I just want to know more about your book, because I was not aware. When Professor Sudeep told me only, I got to know about your book. So good, happy to hear that you have written a book. Good, happy to see that. So what exactly this book is all about? I think you're on mute.
Thank you. So basically, the book is a mix of, let's say, the old. I mean, it's a fiction story, okay, and it was a very important thing for me that I don't write about my industry, and I actually try to write about fiction. Because I just believe that was going to challenge me further out there. It's basically, let's say, for where the Indian mythology has something called the Chiranjeevis, who are the immortals. It's a story where they get together to fight evil force. It's the idea behind writing this actually came in when I was actually catching up with some of my friends and their kids. And generally, I like to continue talking to kids. And I actually asked them things about Iron Man and all those things, and they were all talking about it. And out of the blue, I suddenly asked something about the Mahabharata or something, and there was absolute silence on the other end. Which is when I thought, hey, how do I make something like this easy for everybody to read? And it started off as something that I wanted to do for, let's say, the young adults, but then it ended up being more like a fiction book that I just believe everybody could read.
Great, wonderful. So really happy to hear that. I think an interesting idea also, right? Where I think a lot of these kind of characters comes. Why not? I'm saying they were really heroes.
Link on the chat out here.
Okay,
I just posted a link on the chat. It's a good 2-hour read. It's in simple English. And I'm just looking at the chat message, and I just saw somebody a message out there which said that what are the challenges of AI in tourism industry? And thanks for that message, Sanya. I'm not sure if I answered that question during my entire conversation, but I think it is the biggest challenge today is the ethical usage of AI, which is that accuracy of information which is being posted out there, which we are still some time away from getting that in place. The second biggest challenge is going to be there is going to be implication on human resources out there. So there is going to be if you actually see the industries which are going to be impacted by AI, the travel industry is actually on the lower scale. So I think because travel still depends a lot on the require for human personnel in order to deliver a lot of experiences, I think we are still safer out there on one part of it. Taxation, I don't know. I mean, it depends on where you're buying the tool from. If there is naturally tools that none of that is currently being created in India. So if these are being tools that where there is international payments that is happening out there. So for sure there is going to be international taxes that will come in. GST comes into place, TDS comes into play, etc. But otherwise, from a pure simple usage, I don't think taxation is going to imply out there. But all I can tell you is, guys, just be careful about the information you put in out there, because you might be taxed out there with unnecessary hacking that happened out there on your system. So please be very clear about the kind of tools that you use out there and the information that you put on these tools.
Okay. So Ram, can you hear me now? I will just ask.
Yes.
I'll follow up with the question that I was asking.
Yes, please.
So
I can now.
What I was saying at that point of time is that a lot of students, some of them are skeptical, some of them are already excited about using AI, and I'm sure being the young generation, they are probably a step ahead from all of us who are generations after that.
Yes.
So, but even then, there is always a concern about how they should view this particular tool, right?
Yep.
So a lot of people probably are not very technically sound, or probably they feel they're technically weak, and AI. So for them, there might be a question: is AI something which is beyond me, or is AI something which will I ever be able to understand the entire what exactly is this tool and how to use it? Because I believe that creating AI tools and learning how to use are two very different things.
Yeah.
So could you just please touch upon that?
So look, there is the like you rightly said, none of us, I mean, I'm not a coder. I'm not going to help create AI out there. Okay. But there are a lot of tools that is coming out in the market which are helping people, okay, as to how to use this out there. And a lot of these platforms, including Microsoft, Google, etc., are creating platforms to help you learn about AI and how to utilize it. Okay. So I think the first thing for most of us should be that, hey, are we using the right platforms? Are we sitting the right people and learning it out there? The second important thing I would say is, can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yes, Ram. Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Yeah. So the second important thing I would say is, look, there's nothing better. Internet is a great place for us to learn. There's a lot of free, including YouTube. There's so many free platforms available for education out there. Follow the right thought leaders out there, because I learn a lot by following some of these guys on Twitter, on LinkedIn, etc. And they come up with example as to how they are using these tools out there to help them optimize their day-to-day activities. I personally am using some of those tools like Copilot, etc., which is available now on Microsoft. These are of course paid tools. Some of them are paid tools today, like Word Copilot or PowerPoint Copilot, etc., or even Outlook Copilot. Outlook Copilot, for example, is a great way for me to summarize a long email. Some of these emails are 2-3 pages long. Sometimes you don't have the time to read it. So that becomes the easiest way to concise and understand what are they actually talking about. Okay, so the way I look at AI today is AI is my personal digital secretary who is helping me become a lot more efficient out there. And I think as students, that is a way for you to experiment. A lot of these tools in today's time are still free to use. Google Gemini, the basic version is still free to use. Microsoft, there is this app called Copilot again, which is free to use. So yeah, play ahead with those kind of tools to just understand the capabilities of what you can do out there. Okay. Follow some of these thought leaders on LinkedIn, on Twitter, etc., because they show you how these tools can be used. Okay, how are they using this in their day-to-day life across different industries? That gives you some ideas as to how you can start utilizing it for your day-to-day life.
Okay, thank you so much. Any questions from our students or our faculty members as well?
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi,
Good
Manjurika.
afternoon,
Hi,
Manjurika.
good afternoon.
Please speak.
So my question is like, we never know after 5 or 10 years we will have robots to operate tasks and give services. So, for example, my main question is, as a hotel owner, would you like to employ robots in place of humans to give services and all the tasks to manage, and there will be a computer to manage all the robots, and there will be just one person to manage the whole thing?
So, Manjuga, to be quite honest, it depends on. I can tell you, see, again, it's very difficult to forecast the future. Like I said, we can all make very calculated guesses, educated guesses. Some of us have a lot more information when we are making these guesses, so we end up becoming a little bit more correct. But I can tell you what could happen today in the future. Look, if you look at the hospitality industry, there are two kinds of hotels, right? One is that typical hotel where there is no frills hotel, as I would call it, right? So what I mean by no frills hotel is, let's say, the typical 3-star, 4-star hotels globally. Okay, there is no fancy service, etc. out there. You just and the traveler out there is also going to get a clean bed, go get a clean room, get a good shower, get high-speed Wi-Fi, come down, grab a quick coffee and a breakfast, and rush for the meetings, right? Or the typical hotels next to the airports. Now, these are hotels with limited service. I think technology will play a bigger role out there. So you will have computers will self-check-in out there. Now, you can see that even in airports today, right? When you go to the airports, especially with LCCs, if you have a no check-in baggage, you don't need to stand in the counter. You can just print your boarding pass and go away. Or maybe your phone itself is the boarding pass today. Similarly, in big airports like Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, etc., self baggage drop has come in where you can actually place a baggage and that scans it in and it sends it off inside. Okay, but that does it. But on the flip side, in the luxury hotel space, okay, or in the 5-star hotel space, I still believe that humans will be the biggest differentiator. If I am the owner of a 5-star hotel, okay, people are going to pay that additional money for me, okay, for service, for experience. Technology can give a consistent experience, but technology cannot provide that unique experience. Technology cannot see that when the guest walks in, oh God, he looks so tired. Can I offer him a cold drink on arrival? Can I offer him a cold towel? No, technology will know that, hey, it's Ramachandran who has come in. Ramachandran likes a high floor room. Ramachandran likes a pool view room. Ramachandran likes a non-smoking room. Itna to technology will know. But it wouldn't realize that, oh shit, he's walking in looking very tired because it seems that he's had a bad flight. Okay, that is where humans come into play, and that is why people pay that kind of money to a 5-star hotel, right? So that will always exist. People in operations, I think, especially the skilled talent, don't need to worry. Okay, who need to worry? Maybe people like me who are in more in revenue management, where technology is coming in so much that I have to be one step ahead of the rest of the crowd out there, so that people will employ me out there. Okay, he's the guy who can manage the systems out there. So I think that is going to be the case out there. I think the more it happened to me also. Yeah, I mean, Manjulika, when I started off, computers came into play, internet came into play. There were people who unfortunately could not adapt, who had to move out. So that's going to always happen. But I don't think that the human force in industry will ever stop. No, that's not going to happen.
Thank you so much, sir. Like, the reason of the question is like there is so much freak of like the humans will be replaced by the robots. So that's why the question always.
Look,
the question
I
is,
can tell you this. Maybe you will no longer see humans hanging outside windows and cleaning those glasses. Okay, that might be done by a robot who you just put it and it just goes up and cleans and it comes down. Okay, but that's going to maybe not be there. But there will always be a human inside the room to clean the room. I don't want a robo coming in doing a machine-like cleaning of my room and going. No, I want that guy coming in who is smiling at me, who is talking at me, who is making that pleasant conversation with me when I'm there in the room. So that's always going to exist. It might be a machine who might chop your onions, but it will be a chef who will prepare the dish.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for the question.
Good
Thank
question, and
you
thank you for the
for
very
this beautiful answer.
illustrative response. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hey guys,
Suman, would you be willing to ask any questions? You are from data analytics, so you are doing a lot of this machine learning stuff. Suman?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hi, Suman.
you may have some. Suman is Mr. Ramachandran. Suman is one of our faculty member.
Hi, Suman.
So Suman, you can switch on your video and you can ask.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
Hello. Very good. How are you doing?
Sir. Sir, actually, I'm working on medical image analysis and deep learning and machine learning also. Sir, actually, what are the application of deep learning in the hotel industry?
I think look, early stages of deep learning that is happening out there. But look, what is deep learning? Deep learning is basically using data to make sense. And how do we implement it to get an answer? So I'll give you a simple example of deep learning. Okay, I spoke about this already as one of those examples, and I'll bring that back. We speak about consumer reviews, right? Now, there is close to, if you look at it globally, there is close to 150, 170 odd websites, right? Where a typical consumer can write a review. And these 150, 170 odd websites are across multiple languages, okay? Chinese, Japanese, Arabic, Korean, French, German, English, etc., right? Now, it's humanly impossible for anywhere to read all these reviews, understand what those reviews are telling, and what action do I need to take out there, okay? Which is where I'm just giving you a real life example as to where deep learning comes into play. So the tool that most of us use, there are multiple companies which provide this, Review Pro, Revimate, etc. Some example of these review systems. What that does is it analyzes all the hotel reviews, analyzes what are the concern area, gives recommendation on what should my responses be, gives recommendations on what is my current area of challenges and what should I be looking at. So for example, it will turn around and tell me that number one, I have a problem with my F&B is doing great, but my room service is having a problem. But my room service is having a problem only during breakfast hours, because that is the only area where it is giving me bad reviews. So which means it will help me to just look at those 20 reviews out of the 2000 reviews, where I can actually find out that, you know what, the problem is orders are going in late. It is not because of any other reason. Which means instead of having 2 people for room service morning breakfast, maybe I need to have 3 people or 4 people. You know, that's about it. Okay. Maybe I need to place room service cards in the room so that people can pre-order breakfast so that it is delivered on time. You know, so I'm just giving a very simplistic example of deep learning, which is already live in our hotel industry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we are basically talking about tools which are looking at millions of reviews and drilling it down to one simple action point.
Sir, if I create a model, a deep learning model, and implement in PMS, and that PMS analyze the customer data and all,
Yeah.
it is possible.
Yeah, look, it's also about the PMS having the capability to do it, right? It is so in today's world, the biggest challenge is integration of 2 different systems, right?
Yes.
What the PMSs are, today's PMSs, if you ask me, do they have, yeah, they can do deep learning, but they just do a deep learning to a very basic level of just telling me, okay, what are the guest likings and dislikings? You know, the question is, what are you trying? So it is not about what is possible. The first question is about what do you want the PMS to do with that data? You know, that's my first question to you. When you go ahead with a project like this, my first question is, end result kya hai? Isme se what are you trying to achieve? You know, The moment you have the end in sight, the moment you have the goal in sight, you know exactly what you're working towards. Because we are all working with huge numbers. We are all working with, on an average day, I would be working with nearly, let's say, 1 lakh rows and another 30 odd columns. So 30 into 1 lakh, that's nearly 30 lakh cells of information that I might be working with, right? In order to just drill it down to half a page strategy. The end result is that half a page strategy that we are coming up with. But the entire half page strategy is coming from nearly that 1 lakh into 30. So 30 lakh cells of information is being drilled down to half a page, right? And that is basically telling the hotels key, where do you invest your money? Where do you cut down your costs? Where do you have to get human resources in place? Where are the training requirements? So those are the things that we are trying to achieve. So I think that is what you need to think about. What is the area that you want to work on?
Yes, sir.
So the moment, it is perfectly possible. There is, I can tell you that companies like Oracle, that Oprah company, the owning company of Oprah, they're already working on high level of data analytics coming in. And in many cases, what is happening is they're actually building interfaces with external products who are basically extracting this data. So simple example is Power BI. Right?
Yes.
Microsoft Power BI. You're basically extracting those data and just creating those dashboards which are giving you answers out there.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Suman. Of course, guys, I'm available. I know that we have already crossed the hour mark. And I think there's been a lot of questions out there, which has been great. Of course, I'm still available for the next 5 odd minutes because I have a call at 12:30, but I'm still available for the next 5 odd minutes if you have any more questions. The easiest way to otherwise reach out to me and have any other conversations. If suddenly a question comes in and you want to talk one-on-one, etc., connect with me on LinkedIn. I am available on LinkedIn and I'm pretty active out there. I'm just going to share my LinkedIn link out here so that you guys can just reach out to me if you have any other questions out there at a later stage which you guys want to discuss about.
In fact, your LinkedIn
take
ID,
note of the link.
Your LinkedIn ID perhaps I have sent it to everybody already.
Great.
But you send it as well. They are already aware. So actually, these are things, what happens because most of this is still very much in the imagination plane. For a student, for them, they are still visualizing. Until the time they are able to do it in their own hand, it might not be so very easy to understand the various nuances of it.
So I would definitely recommend you guys to download the Copilot app. There's an app called Copilot on both Android and iPhone. So please download the Copilot app. Download the Google app. Let me see if I can share my. I have Google on my iPad because now I've moved to my iPad. I'm just seeing. So there is Google, there is Copilot. So you should kind of use those apps out there, and that will help you kind of understand the basics of how it works. Gemini, for example. Just go to your web browser and just type Gemini, Gemini, Gemini AI. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. I'll just put it in the chat box again for everyone. Download Microsoft
Gemini.ai, right?
Copilot. The Google Gemini. Yeah, just log in with your Gmail ID out there and continue to play around with it. Ask questions, see how it reacts. Ask questions about what you know about first. Okay, don't ask it questions that you don't know about. Okay, just ask questions about. If you're a cricket follower, just ask it to summarize the entire India campaign in the recent World Cup. Okay. See what it comes across with. Ask it something about the Indian elections if you're somebody who is a fan of that. Ask things like that. You'll first start seeing how it reacts to you. Then ask it to create something for you. Start talking. Use it to ideate. Use it to thrash ideas. That's the best way for you to understand these systems. Okay. Again, I sent you that link. I showed you that link in my presentation, which I'll again put it out here for everyone's attention. There's an AI for that. Okay. That's a great one for you to try out. Okay. Which again gives you a lot of information about. I'm just copying that as well as I'm talking to you. It again gives you a lot of information about new AI tools available out there. Let's just be again careful. Like I said, don't put personal information out there. That's about it. Okay. Don't put any personal information on any of these things. Don't put date of births. Don't put credit card numbers. Don't put bank details. Just be careful. I mean, that's the usual sensibility you need to follow in any internet site today. So just be careful with that. Okay.
Sanjiban, I think Sanjiban is willing to ask a question. Sanjiban?
Okay. Can I keep that as a last
Sanjiban,
question?
you have been raising up. Yeah, this is the last question. Sanjiban?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Can you switch on your video and then, please switch on your video and ask the question.
Sir, actually, I'm having some issues in opening my camera. So can I
No
ask
worries.
in
Please,
voice?
Sanjiban. No worries. Please do.
Yeah, please, quick, yes, quick.
Sir, a question was asked a few minutes ago that the implication of AI in tourism industry.
Yeah.
So sir, a few days or a few months back, I read an article about how AR and VR is going to impact the tourism industry by providing a virtual scene, like a virtual feeling for that. So, sir, what's your take upon that thing? Like, what will be the traveling situation? Like, will we sitting in a place and visiting the place, or like we will be going there and visiting?
I can tell you that maybe it's going to give two kind of things. Okay, I mean AR, VR. I think in the first slide, when I said about those 6 things like digital payments, contactless check-ins, etc. I spoke about AR, VR, and XR out there. Look, virtual reality is a given, but today technology is still very expensive. Okay. As of today, at least for the next 2-3 years, technology is going to be very expensive. The average usage of it cannot be more than an hour. Before that, you get headaches out there. I mean, I've tried using that Apple Vision Pro out there, and I've used the Oculus headset, etc. For the first 30 minutes, it's great or whatever it is, but uske baad, it becomes very, it gives you headaches. Okay, it gives you nausea for some people, etc. So yeah, it is the future. For sure, people will, just like today, before you go to any place, you see photos of it on the internet, right? You see videos of it on the internet. You see videos of it on YouTube if you don't know the place. Tomorrow, imagine that VR is going to be that example. But then honestly, if you want to go to a beach and experience a beach air, I mean, you might be sitting back at home like this on your chair, on watching it on your this thing. But hey, are you going to smell the sea out there? Are you going to get the sea breeze out there? Is somebody going to come and give you drinks out there? Are you going to? No, it's not, right? It's fake. So there are people, I mean, the way I tell it around, people still pirate movies and watch it on camera prints right now. But it's not that the movie halls shut down. The movies still make a lot of money, right? Because there's a big difference between watching it on the big screen and watching it there. People can watch people can watch cricket on TVs or on your phone. But are the stadiums empty? No. People are still there in the stadium because the live experience which is there. So I think VR, AR will only make that destination more popular, driving in more people to come and visit it. Just like free streaming of cricket actually made cricket more popular. More people are watching cricket. Companies are suddenly making a lot more money. I think the same thing is going to happen with that. I don't think there is a worry for us to think that people will just be happy watching it online and not come and visit me in person. No, I think they'll watch it online and say, "Ha, isko to I'll have to go and see in person." You know. So yeah, I think that is what is going to happen up there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Cheers, guys. I'm sorry, but I have a
I think-
12:30 call.
I think yes. Yeah. I think we need to close it now.
Yes.
I must thank you for this illuminating session. And
My pleasure.
to
Thank
be
you so
honest,
much.
I really never expected, it will go this far. It's about 1.5 hours. And
Yes.
I can assure you there are so many of them still waiting to listen to you. But then
Yes.
this is the beginning. Let me
It's
put
just
it
the
this way.
beginning. Yes.
I would like to thank you. I'd like to thank Raghu also. Raghu had been extremely kind to, connect with you as well. So we had also my entire, we have a huge team working on the back end. My
Yes.
lecturers and professors who had been able to make this whole effort, possible. My managing director as well, who had been spearheading a lot of these efforts. So it's really, I must thank everybody. And yes, most important to you, I have read your book. I'm sure many of the people who have heard you will be reading your book. This particular session of yours will remain with us recorded, because we'll keep on referring to it time to time to learn more. And yes, if there are questions, we certainly will be coming back to you. And as I told you, this is the beginning. I would look forward to meeting you again and again
Yes.
on multiple other topics. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramachandran.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so
we'll
much.
remain connected. I will remain
Absolutely.
connected.
Yes. We
Okay.
shall.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Raghu.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Raghu.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Raghu.
Bye, Raghu. Ciao.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.